Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's training. And today we are going to do an interesting tutorial, or basically starting off an accelerator course, some sort of a crash course that in 3 days we are going to be building out the full-on GrooveKart Accelerator. So my name is David Lemon. For those who may not know me, I'm the community manager. I'm also a person doing the trainings for you guys. And with me over here, I have the lovely Mr. John Garcia. How are you, John?
Hey David, how are you? And yes, guys, so as David just mentioned, today we're starting the 3 days GrooveKart Accelerator. This is kind of our present for you guys. For all of you guys that have been following us for I should say for the past year, we've been doing the challenges and stuff like that. But today we're starting a 3 day special. And this is something that we wanted to do right before the year end because we want to make sure that you guys get all the info hyper packed in a very short period of time so you can get your stars ready. And we have the next 3 sessions, the next Wednesdays, which will be the 9th, the 16th, and I believe is the 22nd or the 23rd of December. You guys are going to get a lot of information in how to get your store running with everything covered. So welcome, guys. Let's get ready to get started. As you can see, today and actually tomorrow, there's not going to be a GrooveKart challenge. Let's just make sure of that because tomorrow's spot at 6:30 is going to be Rich Sheffrin on airtime. So he's going to be just doing a lot of amazing content as well. Well, let's just get started, David.
Awesome. Perfect. So, for those of you that don't know John Garcia, he is the person behind the support team of Groove Digital. So he is actually the manager of support. In case you have any questions, not at this moment, you'll be able to reach out to support, and he and his team will be handling the answering for you. But let's just dive into the presentation. I just did a very quick presentation just to walk us through what we'll be talking about today, and will not go very strictly according to the presentation, but just so that we have some sort of a flow. Also need to add that this presentation will be added for every one of you at the end of the stream. So in case you would like to get your hands on it, wait until the end of the stream. We'll be modifying the presentation as we go so that you have all the tools and the info necessary in order to actually follow along. So this 3-day GrooveKart Accelerator, let me just quickly explain what this is going to be. So we are doing these GrooveKart challenges for 9 weeks sometimes, but there are people that would like to move a bit faster, and some of you also would like to actually get your store up and running as soon as possible, and this actual GrooveKart Accelerator will help you with that. So the 9 weeks that we create, we jam-packed it into 3 days, and we'll actually have every Wednesday in the next 3 Wednesdays, or actually this Wednesday and the next 2, we'll be actually jamming all that information that we usually cover during the 9-week period of time. We'll be adding that all into 3 days. So I believe we have a lot of things to cover, so let's just get started.
We do indeed have a lot of things to cover, guys, because we are actually going to talk about now the strategy and the branding. David and I have prepared a couple of things that definitely is going to help you guys to get your store started. And instead of just getting to the whole situation with print on demand or maybe just creating your own product, we decided to create something as simple, as fast as possible to implement. And you, as long as we go on today, you will definitely learn how to do that quickly and step by step, so you can get your one product store, because this is important. We're going to just do one single product that will actually just encompass the whole store, just due to the simplicity of it. And well, David, how do you want to get started? Let's just go with strategy and branding.
So these 3 days will be set up in modules. So the module number 1 we are doing today, and today we're going over the strategy and branding. The next module will be about the design and basically creating our store, adding on the products and things like that. And the third module will be the post maintenance sort of thing, like setting up our payment gateways, the contact, the support systems, the add-on apps and things like that. So the module number 1 today, we are diving in to the what, why and the how. So basically we'll be going over and then explaining how we set up the branding, why we choose that product, why we choose a niche store or a general store, and how to actually create a store using GrooveFunnels. So we'll be doing the first steps that are necessary in order to start with something. Okay.
Right.
um,
And
do
you
you
will be using GrooveKart, by the way. You just mentioned GrooveFunnels. It will
So the
be
Groove
meant.
Funnels, I mean the suite of tools, Groove Funnels, and then how to actually go in there and create your store using it. Yeah.
Cool.
So let's just start and mention that there will be questions along the way. So in case you do have any questions, please put a Q in front of it. I'll just turn on my handy dandy pointer over here. Make sure you put a Q in front of it so that we can follow it. We will be answering the questions at the end of the training, as you can see over here. We want to cover all your questions, but if you could, please, you just let us do the training first. Most probably we'll be answering a lot of those questions that you have, and then at the end of the training we will cover the rest of the questions that we didn't mention. So in case you do have a question, please put a Q in front of it.
Awesome. So let's get started.
Awesome. So this is what we are going to do today. We'll just do a quick overrun of what we will be covering, and then we'll go step by step into each module or each step, and we'll give you a detailed explanation of why and how and what.
Dave, before you get started, I see a couple of people saying, "Hey guys, I want to make sure that we know Christine, how are you? Dwight, and hello everybody." And just for the very first time, because we didn't do this, and I wanted to just make a pause there. A lot of people might not know what the accelerator is, so watch the recording because we're about to start. So sorry about that, David. Let's go.
Perfect, no problem. I don't know if this was only on my end, but I heard you like a robot, John. Your voice was like fully on robot side. I don't know if this was on my end or other people's side, but let's just continue. So step number 0, we'll go in and then actually create the store inside GrooveFunnels. So whenever you sign up for a GrooveFunnels account, this is a suite of tools that you get your hands on. One of the tools inside that suite of tools is GrooveKart as well. GrooveKart is the platform that you create your store with, and this is what we are going to be teaching and using in order to actually fully build out the yes, C3PO. So it was not on my end only. But yeah, so this is GrooveKart, and this is what we are going to be using in order to create our store. So this will be the step 0. After that, we are going to go in and decide the niche and the product, and also explain why we did this niche and why we decided that niche and then why we decided that product. So in case you are going and then choosing the niche and the product for yourself, so you know what the thinking is and how to actually decide for yourself. There is tons of niches and tons of products out there that sometimes it just brings an overwhelm with people that they cannot decide and what to run with, what to sell, what to actually choose. So we're going to give you our solutions, what we are using in this tutorial training. We'll be covering, should you do a general store or a niche store, and what are the differences? What is the thinking behind choosing the product itself? Like, how do you choose a good product, and so on. We'll be going into the step number 2, brainstorming and getting a domain. So how do you pick a domain? What is the domain? Why do you need a good domain? And how to actually purchase it. After that, we are going to be creating a store, meaning putting in the store information and things like that, and then connecting the domain that we purchase. So today we are going to be covering a lot of steps at the same time. So hopefully you have prepared your pens and papers and you'll be able to follow along, because hopefully you'll continue and work along us, because this is something we are doing for you guys so that you learn from it and you do the actions yourself, because we want you to have a successful store up and running in no time, and these are the first steps necessary for that one. So after step number 3, we are going to go into step number 4, which is working on a logo, colors, and branding. Some people may say that this is not important, but I would definitely think that this is something that is visually very important for people to decide if they trust your site or if they don't trust your site. Ugly stores will convert always worse than the beautiful stores. and this is what we are going to be explaining with John, how we decide on a logo, how we decide on colors and other branding aspects of the actual store. We are also going to give you tools and resources, but we'll fill this up more and more as we go. Step number 5 will be choosing the template. So at this moment, GrooveKart has templates that are available for everybody. We'll dive in, choose a template, and decide how the look and feel of the store will be like. So this will be the step number 5, and then this will be the wrap up time when we are also answering your questions during the Q&A. So this is the plan for today. John, what do you think about this plan?
Awesome. I think that we have lined it up in a way that everybody can follow up. And by the way, guys, can you hear me okay? I actually happened to disconnect my mic. I thought that the new one that I purchased might have worked better. But no, I think it's something internally in my system. I believe it's the mic. Sorry about that, guys. But I believe that if we already now, with those 5 steps, we can cover a lot of ground today. So again, we're going to just do this in a very hyper compressed way. We're actually just going to be throwing at you a lot of information. So try to keep up. But remember, we're recording this and we're going to just keep it up in our YouTube channel and everywhere in social media, and as well as the GrooveDigitalAcademy.com. So now, with that said, the first thing that I would like to say is this part of the session, these 5 key points that we're going to be talking about, it's important that you guys understand that they're important, but do not dwell on them. Meaning, if you're going to pick up a domain, if you're going to pick up colors, if you're going to pick up a logo, do not spend a lot of time or a lot of resources, because at the end of the day, you're going to do this in a fast way. And because I've been talking to a lot of people in the support area, most of the problems that happens is that because people think, oh, my logo doesn't look good, it's too big, it's too small, the color. So it kind of tends to spend the time in some things that I believe they're important, just as David, but that you can fix along the way. So those are the things that the most important things is getting started. So with that said, David, let's just talk about the module number 1, the strategy and branding.
Absolutely. So if you remember, guys, what John just said, doesn't have to be perfect. It needs to get going. This is some sort of a mini imperfect action challenge, if you want to have it that way, focusing on GrooveKart. So please do not spend money on things that you think it will work better. Just decide something fast and then see and put it up. Go through these 3 days, put it up and see how it works. If it doesn't work, like, customize, find out what doesn't work and then change it, then test it again, then change it and test it again if it doesn't work. But just do the actions, because sometimes we get overwhelmed with different things, like picking a color. I cannot pick my color, so I don't know how to actually continue. That is not the thing that will get you the closer to the actual finish line, and maybe to sell products and help out people with your products. So it doesn't matter, just continue on. Okay. With that said, I completely agree with you, John. Let's just jump in and then start with the step number 0. We'll go in, create a store in GrooveFunnels. We'll create a GrooveKart store, and I will show you step by step how to actually log in, navigate to GrooveKart, and create a store. And while the store is in the queue and getting generated, we'll cover the branding and things like that. So if you are ready, guys, let me just jump over here and then start working on the store. So first things first, if you are creating your GrooveKart store, you navigate to app.groovefunnels.com. And I will actually log out and start from scratch. So this is how you will be seeing your dashboard when you're logging in. This is my email address and this is my password over here. In case you don't have an account yet, you can just click over here, the sign up button, and create your account. You can have free GrooveKart stores as well. So this, whatever we are going to be covering today, you can start for free as well. So if you do have your GrooveKart store, which you most probably have already, you'll just need to click on the login, and then this will be the dashboard that loads in. And John, feel free to chime in anytime you have anything to add. Let's keep this conversational so we cover all the bases on here.
Yeah, no worries. I'm actually just looking at that because for pretty much a lot of people that know me here, that I've been working with GrooveKart for the past 1.5 years, close to 2 years now. These guys is just the labor of an extensive amount of people that now is putting everything together. So For a lot of people that are working with GrooveKart for the first time when they logged in using GrooveFunnels, it might be a little bit of a different experience, because usually we just went to mygroovekart.com or your subdomain or your domain, and then you just click admin and you can just log in from there. This, even though it's a different experience, remember guys, this is actually the progression that the company have seen as far as of the products, now combining GrooveKart as well with GrooveFunnels. So this should be taken as an advantage instead of a disadvantage of a little bit of a learning curve. But think about the amazing things that you can do now combining the power of both programs. So let's go forward and let's just complete that installation, David.
Let's do it. So once you are logged into your dashboard, you can navigate over here to the apps on the left-hand sidebar. You click the apps button. All the available apps will load in here on the left-hand side. So we want to be in GrooveKart. GrooveKart is the e-commerce platform that will allow us to create our stores with shipping, with support, with help desk, with things like that we actually want. So let's just click on GrooveKart and see what happens. So if you are a new member, you will not have anything on here. I have created a couple of stores because I'm usually doing the trainings. However, for you, you will probably have an empty screen or a couple of stores here. However, we want to go and add a new store over here. So click on the add new store button, this pink one, and this is where we choose a subdomain. A subdomain, it doesn't have to be super perfect, and if your subdomain is not available, you can add on different characters, because subdomain is something for our own database to be actually able to follow what store is connected to what account. This doesn't matter because we'll be connecting a custom domain, so that will not be going out to the public, so you can decide whatever you prefer. However, we have brainstormed with John and we decided that we want to create a store for a product that we chose already, for a name that we chose already, and we are going to be calling it how, John?
It is going to be called Gyrotop.
Tell us a little bit why Gyrotop.
And well, as David mentioned, we are going to start working in a single product store. So after we did a little bit of a brainstorm, which will show you guys how we did it, because the whole idea is to have this as a showcase and as a case study for us to show you that this can really be done really simply. So we started to look at a product, and we found out a product that we're going to reveal in a few minutes. And we started mixing words and mixing things that actually had to do with the product. And David came up with a genius idea, because I think he had done it before. He said, hey, whatever product we decide, let's just try to mix it with an animal name. And it kind of dawned on me the reasoning behind it, because when you use things or animals or stuff in your daily life that you can combine with that product, that will be a winning name. I mean, who would have thought of Google? Who would have thought of Yahoo? Who would have thought of, well, Amazon is a given, because we all know what Amazon is in some context. But think of all the names that we can pick out by just mixing words. So if you guys always get into any situation like, oh, I don't know what name to pick, be creative. Just when you're creative, you can do a lot of things and, have a fun result. And in this case, we came up with Gyrotop, which will show you guys what it is in a few minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. So Gyrotop, we are deciding to call our store Gyrotop, and this is what we want to use as well for a subdomain. So let's just check the availability. It says, congratulations, domain is available here in the green box on the top, and immediately we can click on the create store. Now we can create the store, and now this store is here at the bottom being built. It says that the Gyrotop is pending. It is being built. It will be ready shortly. But in the meantime, we will go out and then actually cover the rest of the presentation that we have over here while the store is being built.
And so, David, sorry to interrupt, David. And I know you just probably have to use a keyword to jump in each other's back from time to time.
No
but
worries.
If you don't mind coming back for a second, because I want to just point out something important, guys. If you go all the way to the top, and you see that in the corner, create a new store. And maybe for somebody that might look the video later in the recording, the reason why we have 7 days is because you're a paid customer. That means you're upgraded. You have 7 days to create a new store. You have unlimited stores. But the reason why we created this is because, unfortunately, the human mind works in a way that because I have unlimited anything, I am going to use unlimited everything. So this is the way for us to tell you, hey, you have the ability to create as much stores as you want, but we're gonna make sure that you control the urge to create more stores. And by the way, for the free customers, the person or customers that have the free store, they have a 30-day period. A waiting period is not 7 days; it's actually 30 days to create another store. So if you're looking at this recording, but you don't see a 7 but a 30, that's the reason why. The number 7 means you are a paid upgraded customer. So if you want to take advantage of that, just do the upgrade. Now, sorry,
Absolutely.
David.
No problem. So just to wrap this up, basically for everybody, free members will have free and paid members will have unlimited number of stores. So you can create as many stores as you want, completely free. However, the paid members can create stores faster. Okay, so the paid members will have 7 days waiting time in order to create a new store. The free members will be able to create a store every 30 days. Cool. So now step 0 is done. While we're waiting for the store to actually get created, we'll jump over to the step number 1, deciding the niche and the product. So when deciding the niche, starting with this point over here, deciding the niche, there are 2 versions that you can go with. Would it be a general store or a niche store? Can you tell us a little bit, John, about the differences between a general or and a niche store?
Well, a general store can be anything that has more than one product. I mean, a general store will have several products from different manufacturers, different categories, but the niche store will be something that is more defined. For example, we have in a niche, we have sub niches. So let's say you're gonna go with pet lovers, but pet lovers can be subdivided into, okay, you love pets, but how about cats? How about dogs? How about horses? So that whole realm of a big general store, if you said, I have a pet store, you will have to have pet items. But for what pets? So it will be a more general and broader option for you guys, and you can add more products. The only problem with that is 2 things that I believe those are the challenges that a lot of people have is the time to create the store with more products and more different kind of animals, let's just call it that way, and also the maintenance of that store, because it's easier to maintain one product store than one 300 or 150 product store. And I know in the past, if you have seen the recorders, a lot of people say, yeah, you can maybe manage 50 products, maybe 30 products, maybe 20 products. At the end of the day, it's you guys who decide what are your capabilities as far as of dealing with the store. So when choosing a niche or general store, think about this. Think also about what drives you. What is your passion? Then start just deducting the actual information. So I like pets, but what is my favorite pet? Okay, is dogs. Okay, so now instead of having a pet store, I'm gonna have a dog store. I'm gonna have a store specialized for animals, and then you can make a decision. Do I want a very specific product, something innovative, something that people will like, or maybe a more general approach? Maybe something with 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever products you want. So that might be, to my perception, the biggest differentiation between general or a niche store.
So I will give my view on this one. General stores are stores like the dollar stores. You go in there and you want to buy things for your birthday, you want to buy cat food, you want to buy pencils, you want to buy basically everything. There are no categories, no systems in there. Everything and anything that the store owner wanted to sell, they are selling. And this is a general store, that there is no specific category that the store owner wants to put themselves in. On the other hand, I will just give you an extreme case. For example, Gucci. Gucci is a clothing store, and they are niched in clothing. They will sell clothing and even perfumes and all kinds of different things, but they have decided what they want to sell, maybe clothing and perfumes and things like that. But a dollar store, they don't have this kind of category. They will be selling everything generally. Okay, so the difference between a general store and a niche store is that a niche store is the other type of thing that they have decided, okay, I want to sell anything related to a topic, or I want to sell anything related to a product type. For example, if you want to sell only jackets, that's a niche of jackets. Or you want to sell anything related to pets, this is a niche of pets. You will not sell skis and, I don't know, car related items, because you decided that you want to go with one route. So general, selling everything and anything. Niche is you decide where you want to be, what you want to sell, and who you want to serve. This
Correct.
also has integrations and basically connections with your audience. Think about who your audience is. Do you have already an audience? If you're already selling products like courses and some information type of products, you already have a customer base. So you can maybe create a store to serve those customers that you already have. Would it be with general type of products, like you want to sell them also t-shirts and also I don't know, necklaces, and also I don't know, kitchen appliances and tools and gadgets, or you want to actually niche down and do certain stuff. So this is general stores sell anything and everything. Niche stores sell either product type related products or audience type related products, to be more specific.
Right. And actually, just our very own Christine Case, and I'm going to highlight her comment right now. She actually says Walmart versus PetSmart. And that is pretty much a good example. It's actually almost a very perfect example, because Walmart has everything, but PetSmart is actually just more focused on pets. But along those lines also, guys, remember the sub niches, because the sub niche is where we're going to be talking about today. And why is this course? Because we're picking up one single product for one industry, which is a big industry right now, and then you can get the ideas from there. So now, David, we have a couple of questions. Do you want to take the questions at the end, or we should just go one question?
I would like to go through and then answer the questions at the end.
Perfect. Let's go. Let's just do that at the end then. Awesome.
So there is another question. What is the thinking behind choosing the product? Now we know what are the options between choosing a niche. We are going with a specific niche that we decided, and we'll go and show you the product at the end, what we chose. We'll be diving into more topics and talks about why we chose that particular product. But what is the thinking that goes behind choosing the product? What makes a product good to sell, John?
The best way to find out if a product will be something that you're going to be able to sell is if it actually serves a purpose, or actually just completes or fills a void in a system. Meaning, does my product actually is going to fulfill a need from anybody? Which we do have cases that people will have products that, yeah, maybe people will actually come to my store, but that's the wrong thinking. Before we decide to go with any product, look at the trends, look at what's happening. What exactly are people using now? Go to Google Trends, go to different sources and tools that we can actually point you to, because if you do that, then you will have a better idea within your niche or within your industry where to go. For example, taking the actual example that we just did about PetSmart and Walmart that Christine just provided. Let's say you are, again, let's continue with the pet situation. You're a pet lover, but you want to have a store, but you don't know what to do. So let's just do with dogs. Let's just deal with you have the pictures of your dog, you love your dog, and the dog is everything for you. Then, okay, you can actually put a store for dogs. That's great. But do you necessarily have to go with one or many products? That's where the big conundrum comes in. Where should I go with? How would I just step into that direction to make sure that my product actually is going to be usable, is going to be used by somebody? So just start doing the little research. If, let's say, you have a product like a collar, or maybe a harness, or one of those leashes that you can actually use, if you have something that is unique that people will actually pay attention to, then you'll start making a difference. Then your product will start getting attention. I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple of years ago, somebody invented this leash that is actually like a little box with a handle, and it allows the dog to walk past you, and then it's retractable. The actual cord comes back. That guy that created that product is a millionaire now because it doesn't limit the dog to go to at your own pace, but it actually just allows the dog to go somewhere else. So those are the kind of products that you want to maybe pay attention to. Something innovative, something that makes different but is functional. And there's products for everybody in different areas, in different industries and niches. So it's all about the creativity and the way that you will approach finding that product, specifically in that niche that you want to pursue.
Absolutely. So I would like to add on here to decide a product that helps people. Actually, deciding something that helps and that is useful, that people can use not only once but many times, that could actually be part of their lives. This is something that a customer or a person would purchase because they need that product for a reason in order to help them. Every product solves a problem. Some products solve a bigger problem, some products solve smaller problems. There are also other products that are more of an impulse buy. There are products that are made only to be like, oh wow, I want it. Like, for example, I use this a lot. There is a guy that put a rock into a box and called it Pet Rock, and he is actually selling pet rocks. And now he even has a USB version of the Pet Rock, a rock with a stick on top of it. There is a USB cord and you can plug it in. It doesn't do anything, but these are impulse buy. It doesn't solve a problem, but people want it because it's funny and it's like a gag toy. But every product has its solution. Every product is a solution to something. This Pet Rock solves the problem of boredom or unhappiness, or just to make somebody cheer up. But it solves a small problem. In my case, I would always focus on products that solve a bigger problem, that the person can actually write a good review and just be super happy and thankful for our store that we created. So there is a thinking behind every and each product, and this is my thinking. Find something useful, find something that people would buy on the basis that it can help them solve their problems in their life. At the end of the day, everybody, when they wake up, they start having problems, and others want to solve them for them. This is how we make the value exchange, and we make money on top of solving other people's problems. That's basically entrepreneurship and business. So this is what I would suggest when you're going out there choosing a product. Just find something that is super useful. And also, one more thing, this is another tip: don't sell something on your store that is available in stores around, wherever the customers would go. Don't sell something that is just so general, that is just boring, like plates, white blank plates. These are boring. Nobody would purchase that because it can be found anywhere. You can sell something that is not available in shops, that people cannot find so easily. Those are the things that people will be like, oh my god, I didn't see this anywhere else. I will buy it from here. I will buy it from this store because I don't want to miss out. Okay, so these are the two things: usefulness, and don't sell something that you can find anywhere else.
Correct. And I'm going to just highlight a comment here for somebody, because Carlos Zavala mentions the problem is to find a good and unique product to sell. It's a challenge, it's not a problem. And if it's a problem, you got to find a way to overcome it. And I'm going to tell you why. Everybody that is in e-commerce, we have this mentality. There is no things that we cannot find. If you find it good enough, you'll get to that. You'll get to that product. And if you don't find that product, there's now resources for inventors, places that you can go and search. Hey, I have this crazy idea. Maybe somebody's already working on a product. It's all about the extension of the capabilities that we're going to use and the amount of times we have. A lot of people come to you for e-commerce, especially during these times, because they find something that they can resell. A lot of arbitrage. I'm going to buy the cheap, I'll send it a little bit more expensive and make some money. But if you are just a hardcore person that want to make a unique product, you'll find a way. You can actually get a lot of products anywhere else. You can just do searches on internet and also just follow the trends. For example, right now with the whole situation with the pandemic, there's a lot of new products coming around. there's a whole new industry moving forward. And we have to think of the long run. Don't think about just 2-3 months. Think about the bigger impact. Now you have seen companies selling these devices, hey, to test the temperature on your customers, or maybe just to fill out different things before you come to your store. Applications. Oh, how to deal with. I actually come across because I do a lot of training for customer service. I came across a company that is offering a course in how to deal with people that doesn't want to wear a mask in a retail space. So creativity, guys, and I just always talk about being creative and finding a solution. Try something that you maybe need, and let's say you want to experiment. Maybe you become an inventor. Maybe you become something that you want to offer it and create it and make more than you expected. So the internet has provided us with a lot of resources to do that. So don't let that just kind of stop you. And just to pretty much close it up in 2 seconds, do what I do when I see a problem. I do a 4 boxes, and I put the cons and the pros. Why should I do this, and why should I just shouldn't touch it? If you start balancing out, once you have that idea, why should I do it and why should I not do it, then you will realize that you have more pros, why you should do it, than more cons. And just do it with something that you have in your head right now, making maybe a decision of a product, and you will see that actually will work. And Christine, again, I'm going to just highlight a comment from Christine. I see a lot of phone sanitizers. Yes, phone sanitizers. There's a product for, because a lot of people haven't realized, but when you're driving, you're touching the steering wheel. Right now, I've seen a company coming up with these little wipes that you actually just put your hands and you keep them in your steering wheel. So there's many things that you can actually find that are innovative to do this. So don't forget, innovation inspires creativity. So go for it.
Absolutely. So let's just continue with our accelerator. We want to accelerate people on how to set up their stores. So I want to show you guys what the product is that we chose for this training tutorial, for this accelerator, and what we will be using for actually building out the store. So as John said a couple of times, we chose to go with one product store because we want to focus all our energy on one product at the beginning. We can convert the store to a multi-product store at this moment. We just want to start with one, build it out, start selling it, find the audience that are actually interested, and we can sell those audiences more related product, more niche specific products, or different products that they may need. So I will share my screen quickly and I will show you what is the product that we decided to go with. So on the screen you can now see the product that we want to use. This is adjustable laptop desk that you can use when you're lying in your bed, that you can actually fold up and make it like stand up, so that you can do work while standing up near your desk or any surface. And this actually relates to the niche and the trend of the coronavirus. As you guess, everybody's home, that everybody that works in businesses that can transfer over and work only on a computer or laptop, everybody's staying home because of this corona crisis. So we wanted to actually help out people to stay in bed even longer, and then do things on places, do work on places that they want to be on. Circulation of air in the laptops, and this helps with standing up as well, so people can stand up near the desk and they can just continue doing their work wherever they are. Would that be on the beach? They want to bring some stand on the beach so that their laptop is not in the sand. They can do it. They can do it in the bed. They can do it like even in the bathtub. This can help them actually do work. Nobody wants to work in the bathtub, but let's just say that somebody wants to. This can help them actually achieve that. So this is going with the whole trend of coronavirus, and we decided to go with this one. Do you want to add something on that, John?
Yes, I would like to actually work a couple of things, add a couple of things, because you mentioned something that you can work with this anywhere. And that was kind of the deal that David and I thought of it when we said, what kind of product? And when we started writing down our list, what is trending and of course, working from home is trending, and I think it's going to be not longer a trend, but it's going to be a permanent situation for three reasons. One, companies are realizing that even though people are working from home, their performance hasn't really decreased. Number two, people are realizing that they are saving money by working from home because they don't have to spend gas. They don't have to go to a physical location. And number three is actually helping them to get more sick, unfortunately. And I want to mention that this is going to be part of the product, because a lot of people are working in really weird positions. And this is why behind everything on the research that we did is like, we're going to look for a product that is functional, that it serves a purpose, and it fulfills something. So we're doing that, we're saying, by looking at a product that maybe is not as innovative, but it's already there. It's a product that is affordable. That's another aspect that you will like to take a look at, that is affordable, and also to make sure that it serves a function. If I'm working from home, which I am, and I told David yesterday, so you know what, that's actually cool for my kids, because I also have my daughter and my son that actually sometimes they have to stay here from school, even my wife. So it is a situation that you might want your own, and that's a possibility of an upsell. Because if you have 2-3 people, maybe a gift in these holidays. So just think of all those avenues of how the product will impact somebody's life and make sure that it serves the purpose. In this case, we found it. Now, one last thing. This is kind of key when picking your product. It has to grab the person's attention, your customer's attention. And I think just by the design, the pictures, people are already seeing themselves like, you know what, this could be cool. This will be more one of those impulse buys, but also in the same sense that it's functional. And as you can see in the images that David is showing, you can actually you can use all those resources, because we have GrooveKart has the ability to bring those to GrooveKart, and it just tells everything about the product and how it will help you. You see how it will help you in that image right there, David. The product itself is telling you, hey, this is how I want to help you. I'm going to help you in your posture. I'm not going to strain your back. I'm going to do certain things for you. So let's just take that into account when we're picking up a product. And I hope you guys like the product, and let's just go along with the process, because it's going to be a fun process. So.
Absolutely. If you didn't think that you need it so far, please wait for buying it, because we are working on a store that will actually allow you to purchase it. So in case you don't have this thing yet, you want it, wait 2 more weeks and you'll be able to get it. So
yes. So if you're in the market for something like this, just wait, and give us just give us the time to actually finish it up and actually order it. Or if you're looking to actually just for something similar, use this as pretty much your blueprint in how to do it really quickly.
Yeah.
So
And now I want to actually point out that don't take this exact product. This product was taken because we did a kind of a brainstorming. This product, in case you go with this one, this exact product, it may not be the product that you are passionate about, that you want to choose for your own projects. So don't copy everything what we're doing. Decide for yourself. And I will show you how we came to actually this conclusion to find this product. We went to AliExpress and we wanted to find something that is useful, something that is actually usable, helpful, solves a problem. And at this moment, we were talking about coronavirus and how people are staying at home, and it's just like there are things that we could sell in order to help those people staying at home. So we were looking at products and we were like, yeah, we don't want to sell actually products like electronics, because some of them have batteries, and shipping around the world with things in like batteries can be hard, because different countries have different laws on importing electronic goods and batteries, or products with batteries. So that would not be the best case, but something with technology would be great. And this one is actually sort of a tech product, but it doesn't have any kind of technology in it, doesn't have batteries, doesn't have circuit boards, doesn't have any kind of electrical things. And we just went in there in the categories like computer and office, for example, and then we're searching for accessories, searching for different things. Also, sorting by orders is a very, very good help, because we can see what sells what people are looking for, and this way we just found that exact product that we were showing you. So just by going into different niches, different categories over here, sorting by orders, looking through what would be interesting, what is easy to ship, and what is actually available. We also wanted a product that could be shipped from different countries. And if I go back to the actual adjustable laptop stand, you can see that there are sending or shipping. I don't know why it just happened. Let me just go back. They are shipping from United States and China. So we wanted to have a product that ships from United States, and you can see immediately that the shipping is not that costly. So even if we choose the actual product, it will be $21.99. If we add on the cost of shipping, it is not a make or break deal. Also, this one has a very big order amount. That means that people are purchasing it, people are buying it. That means people want it. Also, it has a very good rating on here, 68% 5-star ratings. That means that the product is high quality. You can also read through the reviews, and that also means that you'll be able to import these reviews because there's so many sales, so many good star ratings. You'll be able to import these in your GrooveKart store, so you don't have to invent good reviews, because this is a good product. People were purchasing it, and it just allows us to go through and see all these details and take all these resources so that we can set up our own store using it. So this was the thinking behind of us choosing the product, and we just decided to go with a niche of not tech, but specific to solve problems of people working at home. So this is not some sort of a niche store. It's a one product store that is solving a particular problem. So that was the thinking behind it.
Yeah, and we actually did. I'm sorry, David. Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask you: do you want to go? Do you want to add something else on this one, or should we go on to the next?
Yeah, very briefly, guys. Remember, we chose AliExpress because we have that ability to go into AliExpress with our Ali Connect app and just pick any product. However, Dropify, Overload, there's many options that you can go in there and investigate those products. So, and as David says, try to, if you're gonna just pick the same niche or the same kind of area, just test with the different products, but something that you want to do, something that you want to promote. Remember, you haven't worked a day if you enjoy what you do. And in my case, that's my mantra since I started working with Groove and in many other companies. It should be the same case for you guys when you pick a product. If you're going to be working towards promoting the product, you should enjoy the product. You should actually learn about the product and order it. You become a product of the product, as I always say, because you need to understand how you can make sure that you convey a message. So it's always good to order that product, test it out, and just share it with people. And along the process for the next 3 weeks, you guys are going to see the interaction that we're going to have, not only in connecting the store and working with the store and the product, but also how to promote it in center areas like Facebook, Instagram, and how to make sure that it just gathers just that little momentum that it needs to, be part of something bigger. So something that you can offer. So, and David, let's just move forward. And I'm saving just a couple of questions that we will definitely want to address at the end.
Absolutely. So let's just go on to the next step, which is step number 2, brainstorming and getting a domain. So far, we discussed how to actually choose a niche. Do you want to go with a general or niche store? We also discussed how to actually get the products. I added on a tool and a resource that John mentioned, which is Google Trends. Have a look at what the trends are. Have a look at what you're interested in. And if the trends match, find a product on AliExpress or find a product online that you would be able to sell. Okay, we decided our product and we decided our niche. So the next step is to actually brainstorm and get a domain. So when we're going and brainstorming a domain, I wanted to have something that relates to the product. So we were coming up with keywords, something like, I don't know, table stand, notebook.
Desktop. We came up with different things. It was actually fun.
Yeah. So there are like desk stand, mouse pad, laptop. That's a keyword for this product. Stand. I don't know, things like that. So basically, we were thinking about different keywords, and we were just brainstorming very quickly. One of the tools that I like to use when brainstorming products or domain names is Lean domain search. Okay, we will add this onto the presentation. You'll get the presentation. So this was the process behind finding a domain. As you know, we have now some keywords like laptop. You pop it in, and then you can find available domains that are available to purchase. So family laptop, call laptop, laptop pod, and things like that. I usually like to like to see if the word would be the keyword would be good at the end or at the beginning. I believe laptop pages is not that good, but laptop pod would be good. But I want to have the laptop at the end of the search term. So ends with search term: image laptop, earth laptop, family laptop, print laptop, trim laptop. It doesn't sound good. So we went on and looked through different lengths, like on laptop, ice laptop, tri laptop. It doesn't sound good. Laptop pod, laptop tel, laptop hill, and things like that. So we went also stand, and then we looked into all kinds of different things, and we didn't have anything that we could work with. These are the available domains. It showcases what the domains are. So this is lean domain search, and I use this very, very often. But in this case, I just didn't get the right domain that I wanted to use. So in this case, John said that he has another tool that he likes to use, and it's called a name mesh. Name mesh is very similar as well, because you pop in your keyword and it gives you different kinds of ideas. So we did the same. Stand, we typed in the word stand, and it generates and checks the available domains. We'll get you these resources, so you don't have to worry about that. And it gives you a mix of Standra, Standevo, Stand, Eden Stand, Ava Stand, and things like that. It gives you also SEO, Stand Tools, Stand Bot, Stand B, Stand Docs, Stand Central, and these are good domains, but we just didn't feel that it is good enough. Another tool that we were using was instant domain search, and this one is very good because it searches through domains very, very quickly, even while you're typing it. Like, for example, John uh, Garcia. Okay,
So
you can
it's
see
not available.
immediately as you remove letters, it checks it immediately, and it showcases if the actual domain is available. Most of the domain search tools, they don't do this. But what we were doing is using this domain generator, which showcases different domains using the keyword that you type in. For example, let's just go back to the word stand. Okay. It gives you the domains that are available. These are the .com domains, and then there are more domains over here. Then there are more domains. So we were going through, and we actually didn't find one that sounds and feels good with this product. So let's just jump over to John, and let's let him share the story how we actually found the right domain.
Pretty much after a good 40 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, close to an hour. So like, okay, let's just do something else. Let's just think of something. And David mentioned, hey, let's just try to mix it with something. And David mentioned animals. Let's just try to see if we can just mesh everything with an animal. So if you don't mind going back to the product, David, for a second, so we can actually see how we came up to the idea of it. And if you scroll down, I believe is actually that image, that's perfect. Because if you guys see that image that David is showing, what is the only animal that has a long neck and it can actually just accommodate everywhere?
Let me think.
Let's think. I mean, if you know the name, just type it up, just so we know that you guys are following along and just actually taking notes. But is that animal? Let's see if somebody types it. Come on, guys. I mean, I'm just giving a chance here. So if somebody that is right now in the live will guess the animal, but just by the name that we announced earlier, that will be the reason how we came out with Gyrotop, because it's the giraffe. There you go. Somebody says Facebook user a mouse stand. No, it's actually a giraffe. So thank you, Marcus. Thank you, Facebook user. So it is actually usable because, and you will see it how we proceeded with the idea, and because it was something creative. And again, creativity always goes a long way. And even if to you sounds like a dumb idea, run it by somebody else. That's why with this process, you want to do it with somebody else, because when you do things alone, you're your worst enemy to make a decision. That's why a lot of people dwell in those decisions. But if you call your significant other, maybe a business partner, maybe a friend, hey, dude, I'm actually just having this crazy idea about a store, but tell me what you think. Make him part of that experience, make him part of your working environment, and then you will decide. Now, it's better if you have a whole community built already. Let's say if you have, your little tribe of people that follow you because you're great at doing something, and you have maybe 200 followers, send an email out like, hey guys, can you do me a favor? I have this idea and I'm actually using this. Make him part of the process. If you make him part of the process, it's easier for you to sell him. Always think that once you start creating something new, for those of you out there that have a tribe, a little niche of people, your own, let's say your own posse of people, use them to help you make a decision. Because that's the biggest problem that all of our entrepreneurs, including myself, sometimes we come up with good names, but falling products or falling processes because we don't include anybody else. So that's got to be definitely something that you want to include more people in your process so it's easier to go along. And David, do you speak the logo that we did?
Yeah, just let me just add on a little bit onto this whole thinking of brainstorming domains. So don't get stuck on one domain. Like
Yes.
that this stand is a laptop stand, so you don't have to find something as the most perfect laptop stand.com. It doesn't have to be. Be creative. Think about businesses like MailChimp. Like they took an animal and connected it to something that they are doing. So MailChimp, would it be chimp mail? MailChimp, it sounds kind of good. So try with animals, try with fruit. David Lemon, bam. Like animals and fruit and things like colors. Like you probably know about some product that has the actual name of the color in there, like green tree, or tell me.
Actually, Orange Juicy is one of the coolest platforms to detect heat signals in any website. And
There you go. There you go. So colors, animals, what else? Numbers. Numbers can work good as well. And things like that. So try to be creative. Try to incorporate these types of words in there, because everybody knows those words. Everybody knows about animals and colors and numbers. These are kindergarten stuff. If you add it on to a business, it could actually make a really, really good
Right.
name, or a product name, or something like that. But just getting creative, thinking outside the box a little bit. Not only SEO type of words like keyword rich word, the best laptop stand ever.com. Like that's like nyeh. But if you think about a little bit deeper, like gyro stand, bam, like it's actually good. Gyro top. So yeah,
And if
this
you
is
think
my
about it, I'm sorry, David, I didn't mean to interrupt, but if you think about it, just by noticing how others react to that name as you go along, that will tell you a lot about what your decision you just made. If it's a good one, people say, you know what, I like it. Like it was my case maybe 12 years ago when it came about Tijuana.com. Like, hey, why don't you just put a name of a city on your domain? No, it's not Tijuana, it's Tijuana. So those are the differences that you can actually come. And you see, as David was saying, this is a name of a city. If your product if you want to make sure that, let's say, Boston something, or Boss something, or colors, just as David was saying, so there's many possibilities. So don't get just flustered with so many ideas. Just come up to a couple of them, and you will see the great results that you can come up with.
Absolutely. So now that we have mentioned how we came up with our domain, I believe that you have the knowledge necessary to brainstorm your domains or domain keywords, possibilities, and then go to the next step. The next step is to actually go out there and purchase it. So my recommended domain name register is Namecheap. So we'll go and purchase something on Namecheap. Okay. If you type in Namecheap, I will also add it on to the presentation. You create an account, or if you already have an account, you log in. There are many other domain name registered, Name Silo, GoDaddy, all kinds of different things. I don't even know what they are. I just use Namecheap.
Oh, I can mention 5 out of the top of my head. GoDaddy, Name Silo, Network Solutions, uh, uh, Cloud Register, or something like that. There's many of them. Just go with one of the things that I want to point out, and this is part now on the financials aspect of it. Don't go for the cheaper register. Go for the register that actually gives you a little more. And this is just a word of advice. Why? Because sometimes when you're starting, you registered, and this is my personal case with a couple of companies, and for those that maybe don't know, back in a previous life, I actually used to sell and buy domain names. So I got a little bit of experience when it comes to names. I used to own 1,200 domains and all about parking and all that stuff. But it's important that you guys feel comfortable with where you buy your domains, because remember, the domains are not yours. You have to go with a company that gives you certain advantages when it comes to the renewal, because a lot of people, yeah, I own this domain. No, you don't. And that's the biggest misconception. You rent that domain for the longevity of the time. So this is important. Make sure that the domain company that you select, whether it is Name Silo, Namecheap, Network Solutions, GoDaddy, whatever it is, you have a stable relationship with them, and they allow you to actually just a little extra something that you might get. For example, GoDaddy gives you free email. Name Silo give you discounts. Namecheap, maybe they will give you some other stuff. But go with what is comfortable. But more importantly, register the domain fast. Why? Because good domains, they fly out. And if you make a good domain, and at the end of the day, you want to go forward with your idea and buy your store, remember, if you don't decide not to continue with the store, you can sell it. And that would be a good exit plan if you decide to do that in the long run. But just think about that as well.
Let's just go on and then go to the next step. So basically, we come to Namecheap. We found the domain we want to purchase. As you can see, it is available. We will add it to cart. I'm pretty sure everybody knows how to online shop. This is the same thing with domains as well. Add it to cart, go to the checkout, see if any coupons can be applied, because why pay full price? That's so 2008. So we are looking for the coupons, and once we add on the coupons, we can see, there we go. So we have saved $1.78, which is already such a good deal. I will purchase it for 1 year. Let's just go on and then click confirm order. Once we are done, we can just click the pay now button, and then we'll wait a little bit until the actual process is done. And then in the moment, we are owning gyrotop.com. So gyrotop.com will be the place where we will be hosting, or actually not hosting, where we will be pointing our domain or pointing our store to when we create it. So now we actually have gyrotop.com. We have purchased it. The next thing what we want to do is just click on the manage. We are in the management platform for Gyrotop. And this is where we will stay, because in the next couple of steps, we'll be going on and connecting this domain with the store that we created. So if we go back to the actual step over here, we brainstormed and got a domain, which is now gyrotop.com. With this process, you can do the same thing for yourselves. Just use these resources that we wrote out. You'll be able to just click on them easily from the presentation that we share. Lean domain search, name mesh, and instant domain search. These are the 3 that we use normally. I use them every day because I like to shop around domains. As John said, they are very valuable. In case you find good ones, then you can create a very good business using them. But it is not a make all break all. Like, it will not make a huge difference in case it is like a couple of words difference, or there's a letter that is different. So don't get bogged down by this one. You can change it at a later point, but just get up and running. Okay.
Right.
So if there is nothing that John wants to add on, we can go on to the next step, see what our store is doing in Groove, and then we can connect the domain.
I think we just are ready. I mean, let's just ask the audience, because I know that. And by the way, guys, we're doing this live. As you can see, nothing has been pre-planned, just the name and the product. And we've been here for the past hour, and we already decided in a domain. We already created a store. So we did this really fairly quickly. Who's to say that you could not do the same thing? So remember, watch this recording, but just press a 3 if you guys are ready to see how to connect the domain to your store. Let's see how many 3s we get, because we do have a lot of parties interested to make sure that we do this. And for all of you guys that are here for the first time, so I would recommend, if you just came in, take a look at the recording in our channels, in our social media, and you will see the whole process. So, and actually, by the way, the only thing that I want to add that somebody just pointed out to us, David, is think of privacy process as you don't want mail sent to your home. That's important. A lot of companies, especially a lot of registers, they will do that. They will actually just email you a lot of stuff, offers, or maybe even email you in your mail certain promotions. Like GoDaddy does that a lot, but don't tell anybody.
Absolutely. Feel free to send email to or mail to this one, even junk mail. I don't live there anymore, so some other tenants will be handling those mails for you guys. But I see a lot of 3s, so we can go in and connect our domain to the store that we created together. So let's just see what it is doing. As you can see, it says create a new store in 7 days. And at this moment,
it's already there. It's already at the top. There it is.
Yeah, we don't see the actual store creation process. That means that somewhere here there is our store, and the new stores will always come to the top. So in case you have a bigger screen, you will probably see it something like that. In case you have a smaller screen or like a lower resolution screens, you will see the store immediately next to this creating button. So at this moment, we can click on these 3 dots over here and then go to the back office. Back office is the place where we will be managing the store. We'll be adding on the products. We'll be doing all kinds of stuff with it. So once you have this, once you went to the back office, just think about it. We didn't pay anything for it, for the actual store. I can vouch for everybody that once you register to GrooveFunnels account, you can follow the same steps that we did here. The only thing we purchase right now at this moment is the domain, and I believe this is the only thing we will purchase during this this whole build out process. Just a couple of dollars so that we have a professional domain where we can point our store towards, so that it builds up our brand, it builds up the professionalism of this store. If we leave it at gyrotop.groovekart.com, it doesn't really look good. It doesn't really sound good. It's not easy to remember, but gyrotop.com is a different story. So
yep. One of the points that we definitely need to point here is the domain name will actually add trust to your brand. That's the most important part. If you have something that people can go directly online and they can send an email to, and they can actually just type, okay, yeah, perfect. It's actually secured because everything in GrooveKart is secured as well. So that will give all the factors for the trust factors. It will give you a lot of points because, okay, yeah, it's a nice product. It's a nice domain. It's ready. It's secured. So think about trust. The trust in your customers is paramount. You have to make sure that you get a domain. So
absolutely,
let's connect it, David.
I want to go on and connect the domain that we just purchased to the actual GrooveKart store. It's a very simple process, and I can tell you guys, if like my kid that is 1.5 years old can do it. Come over here to the left-hand side of the screen, click settings, click on the domain. So there is the third option over here. It says domain. Once you click on that one, let me just make sure that you see everything. We can still you can still hear us potentially, but we are now in the domain settings. So let's just close this up. We are in the domain settings. It simply asks us, do you have a domain that you would like to use on GrooveKart? Absolutely, yeah, I just purchased it, so I can type it in here. Please enter the domain here. We'll try to connect it to GrooveKart. Okay, so let's just come over here, type it in, gyrotop.com. So I copied it over, paste it in, and then click save domain. It says here pointing domain, it can take up to 1 or 2 minutes. And then once this is actually done, we will get our name servers. Name servers are things, it's like a piece of code that we need to give to the platform, or in this case, GrooveKart, in order to actually communicate with the place where we purchased the domain. As you can see, magic is happening right now, and it just gave us the name servers. So these are the two things that we will need to copy over. Now, don't use these exact ones that we have here on the screen. You will, once you connect your domain and it is visible over here, you'll be able to see different name servers than what show up here on the screen right now. So don't follow what we have here on the screen. Don't copy these or don't type these in onto your side. You'll get your own name service you need to bring over. When I say bring over, you need to copy these over and open the place where you purchased the domain. In our case, this is Namecheap, and we just need to scroll down a little bit. Let me just make it a bit bigger. And over here, where you say names, where it says name servers, you come over here, click, and choose custom DNS. Okay. Then name server 1, you paste in the first one that you got from GrooveKart. This is the name server 1. This is the name server 2. Copy, bring it over to Namecheap. Once this is done, click this green check mark or the save button. That will register it, that will save it, and it says DNS server update may take up to 48 hours to take effect. This means that we have now pointed, or actually connected, the domain where we purchased the domain. We pointed it over to where we want to have a store built, so that it opens up the store when somebody types in the domain that we purchase. So this is just what we did. We have a name for the store. Now we said, okay, that's the store that we want to call Gyrotop. So that's basically it. That's the process that we did. Copied over the name service, pasted in here. That's it.
And it's very simple. And guy, one point to actually that I want you to pay very close attention is, please follow the order in which the actual DNS are presented. So right now, as David said, apollo.ns.cloudflare.com is number 1. Obviously, the one under it, UMA, is the second one. Because if you mix them up, if you put, let's say, UMA at number 1 and then Apollo number 2, then you're going to have some sort of errors because of the connections and the IP internal that we actually work. So it's important that you guys follow the same situation, if it's the first one and then the second one. So that's very important that you guys do that. Now, David, I think we have connected the store. We created the store. We presented the product. What's next? So let's just go.
So as it said, it takes a bit of time to actually connect the store. So if we try to load in gyrotop.com, most probably will not get anything right now because, actually it is already up and running. So Gyrotop is up and running. Sometimes it will take a little bit longer. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, it just says gyrotop.com, and it opened up a GrooveKart store, and this is a demo GrooveKart store what we have right now. So now that step is actually done, we don't have to do anything else. As you saw, it is basically connected. We'll be going on to the step number 4, which is working on a logo, colors, and branding. This is going to be a little bit more custom to our case because we decided these for ourselves. So how do you actually decide what your logo, colors, and branding should be, John? What is the thinking behind it?
Right after I decided on what domain name I use, based on that, we can actually just decide what shapes. And I based a lot of the logos that I work with based on shapes. I think the shape is important because depending on the product that you're offering, if you take a look, for example, a shape can be recognized anywhere and is universal. Think of Nike. Think of what other big brand that actually has shapes. Nike, even Reebok. There's a smaller brands like Apple. Smaller brands. I should say bigger brands. Apple. If you see an apple, the first thing that you see, of course, is that is recognized anywhere. So shapes is important. Then the ideation behind the items that the companies or the websites that I put together is make sure that it just sends a message. Like if you have, and you will see it in a second, we combine the name, in the case of Gyrotop, with an animal and a function desk. And if when you do that, when you connect those two together, it will start telling your story. Remember, the logo and the colors of your website is the beginning steps of telling your story. So it's always good for branding that you base yourself something in that one is passionate, that you have, that you can convey passionately to your visitors and your possible customers, and that it represents you at the end. So mix all the elements. I use shapes and kind of bright colors. A lot of people prefer more earth colors. And also importantly, depending on your product, make sure that your colors kind of just correlate to what the product you have. Because if you're going to say, let's say, natural products, you do not want to use bright colors. You don't want to use blues, reds, yellows. You want to use more of the earth tones, like maybe like grays, browns, soft colors like that, that will actually just get the motion of your logo combining with the right colors. But coming back to the decision, it's all about your creativity. Be creative. As we're saying right now, from the whole process, don't try to copy. You can replicate, but with your own twist. Make sure that you kind of just differentiate those two words. You don't want to copy anybody. You want to have unique stuff. You can replicate, but just put your own twist. You can actually just do a lot of different things and try a lot of things. And as I said before, involve your people, involve your tribe, your followers in the process. I have seen companies like Teespring, for example, many years ago, they did that. Who was going to help us to create a logo? So they had, I don't know how many thousands of submissions. And actually, it was one guy out of, I believe he was in Bangalore in India, that won because they decided to like, hey, you know what? We like this. We're going to combine it to what we need to send the message to our customers. And I think he got a bunch of prizes for it. And it's a great idea when you want to decide to gamify your process, your storytelling. Do a contest and offer that product to whoever wins if you like the logo. So if somebody, if you're stuck with the logo ideation, but you have their store ready, or you're about to release your store, hey guys, I'm stuck with the logo. Let's just do something. I will create this small contest. Send me the ideas for your logo, and if you win, I'll send you the product. So think about this. When you send something like this, you can use that person that created your logo to test your product and leave a review. So think of all those ideas. Now, David, let's just move along.
Cool. So now I want to talk about a little bit about on the logo colors and branding. So what we wanted to do immediately is just have a look how the actual product looks like, and as we said, that we decided how the domain will be. So it will be like giraffe because it looks like it has an elongated neck. So we wanted to keep this sort of a scenario going on. So we looked onto different options, like if you just type into Google giraffe logo or giraffe icon and things like that. So we were looking for different options on here, and this gave us a ballpark of how we want to go and what route we want to go on. And then there are different platforms that you could use to find different type of illustrations or icons like this one in order to create your logo very, very simply. One of the tools that I would suggest you to have a look at is Flat Icon. This is definitely one of the best places where you can find icon that I use continuously, which is flaticon.com. Will also be in the tools and resources section in the presentation that you will get. So this is Flat Icon. It's basically a platform that you can just source icons in. You can see there are different bundles of icons, but we just want to find giraffe. So giraffe, type it in, and then we get some ideas on here. So these are some potential logos that you could use for your own, but we want to do something more custom. We could have easily just gone with any of these over here that are, of course, the ones with a little crown on it. These are premium, so you can access them if you have a premium account. If you want, you can access the ones without the crown if you are just on a free account. What this tool allows you to also do is, if you just log in on a free account, and I'm logged in right now, you can go in and change the colors. So let's just pick one, for example this one, and you can edit the icon. You can choose the different colors on here. So I want to change this orange to a red color or a pink, and it just allows you to actually modify the colors that are on here. So you click on the color you want to change, and you can just modify it here. It's pretty simple to use, as you can see, and you can create awesome stuff. However, we could have gone this route, but John said that there's another site which is from the same company over here, which is called freepick.com with a K at the end. So freepick.com, and he has a subscription already to this site already here. So he can actually download the ones with a crown. So we typed in giraffe and found a nice little logo we could use. As you can see, there are lots of logos that lots of illustrations that you can go with. We chose the one that I'm going to be showing you right now. This is a very simple illustration of a giraffe. As you can see on the screen right now, this is what we are going with, and this will be the Gyrotop logo. We wanted to have some lines that are actually very straight, because the product itself is some sort of straight, and then it has straight lines. They don't have curves, they don't have all kinds of different lines, but it's just straight, like this and things like that. So I thought that this would be a very cool idea, to use a gyrotop with a straight neck of the giraffe and this stand. So it's just a creativity. If you are going to be creating your own stores, your own logos and your own branding, you need to think about how your product looks like. If you have a one product store, if you have a general product store, how would what the name is, how would that all tie in together somehow, so that there is a nice little illustration, a logo, or a vector or something like that would represent what your store is about. So that was the thinking behind it. I will also link in a couple of different tools that you'll be able to use. But now that we have our icon, we can just head over to a tool similar to, or Canva, for example. This is a drag and drop tool similar to PowerPoint or Keynote, I believe, on Apple computers. This is just a canvas that you can already have pre-made templates for logos. So I just went to canva.com, I choose a logo to be a design style, and it gives me templates that I can choose from. So we can go through and see any cool templates for what we can use.
Maybe if you type giraffe at the top, maybe you can get something like that, or maybe
we can type in giraffe. Yeah.
Let's see if that might probably come up with something nice.
There's nothing. That's too specific.
Yeah, that's too specific. And guys, what David is saying is, don't get stuck. You have a lot of resources. I mean, there's a lot of companies, Adobe, Freepik, Canva, Flat Icon. Always use your resources. You don't have to spend a lot of money, because I have met people in different masterminds, in different situations during the course of my career. Then I tell them, hey, that's amazing logo. Where do you have it done? Oh, no, I paid a guy $800. I'm like, wow, really? And how is your store doing? I'm like, well, it's not doing that great. I'm like, I wonder why. You gotta start. I mean, most of us will know this term, bootstrap. You gotta make sure that you don't spend $1,000, $3,000. Try to spend as little money as you can as your store grows. Right now, we have spent only whatever amount of dollars that David has spent on the domain name. Here,
with a coupon.
And with a coupon. So it was actually $1.78 extra, used cheaper. So think about that. Don't get too caught up on the colors and the logo. Just try to put something together. And along the way, remember, just do like Coca-Cola does every so often. They just shift a little bit the logo, but use always with the same base, like Pepsi did. They just spend a ton of money morphing the logos, but it's always the same base. So think about that. Start with something that you might consider is ugly or not very professional, but just get it done. And then along the way, once your company and your store is making money, you can say, you know what, I'm going to spend $200 in redoing my logo to, somebody that does that for a living. So that's a good way to start. But
You
so
know
let's
who does that for a living? The people at Canva. So the people at Canva, they are professional designers. So if you choose a template, you cannot really go wrong if you follow the styling that they did. At this moment, I can easily say that either this one, the sports logo over here, or this one would match the branding that we have in mind. So let's just start with this one. So as you can see, there is a text element and then some graphic element over here, which is just an icon. So I can easily click on that template and start modifying it. I will pull in my little giraffe over here, resize it, put it on top here, and just type over here giraffe. Okay, I don't need this, so I want to ungroup. I want to delete this, and I have my logo. It doesn't look super professional. It doesn't need to look super professional, but we have a logo, guys. We can also look into different versions of the font. Like we can try Nunito Sans. This is the actual Groove logo, Groove font. We can try this one. I don't really like it. We can try Anton. This one. But to be honest, I'll just probably use this one because that's the default font and it looks good. So maybe we could just resize the actual text alone, and we have a logo ready. What do you say about this? Are you feeling proud now, John?
Of course. I mean, that's we came up with the whole concept literally in an hour and a half, 2 hours yesterday. And right now it's a reality because we already have the domain, the logo, and their store ready. And we have selected the product. But as you can see, guys, it's super simple to do. And we understand there's always a learning curve to everything. So take a look at the videos, go back in, try the tools. And the most important thing is take action, because an idea without action is a dream. Think about that. An idea without action is a dream. Once you think of it, once you act on it, it's a possibility now. It's something that you can definitely do. And we don't know where this brand is going to go. Maybe in the next couple of weeks, once we have everything done, once the actual accelerator is done, you might want to order it. And then you might want to recommend it to somebody else. So those are the things that these situations actually happen. Start taking action. Right now, David is playing around with the colors to see how we're going to just combine everything. And of course, giraffes are yellow and black. So that's a good, and probably brown and black, brown and white might work too. So there's many things, but do not spend too much time on it. That's my biggest recommendation, because then you're going to start trying to look for perfection. And perfection, even though it's good for some situations, is always time consuming. And some of us that have, different things that we work on, we don't have a lot of time to do this. So just think of the same way. Make sure that you do it fast. So money loves the speed. That's what I heard last time. And I think Tom Beal actually has something like that. Thank you, Christine. Christine Burke says, looks great. And as you can see, you can do something similar. So think of a product, think of an idea, think of a domain, and make it happen.
Absolutely. Now, so, I want to tell you to actually, when you're doing logos like this in this process, I would recommend you to do a couple of versions. Like do a color version, but think about like if you need to print it out at one day or something like that, do different versions that it looks good in black and white as well, in grayscale, and then this version as well, the dark version. Some parts of your site, for example, the footer, most of the time it is in color or it's a bit darker or something like that. So you probably want to have some sort of a version of the logo that works on darker screens or darker bases. So I always do the black, gray, and white logo, and then a colored logo. So these are just the basics that I usually do. So at this moment, I can say that I'm finished with my logo creation. I can simply download it from here. And with this one, we also have a color. If you see over here, working on logo, colors, and branding. So at this moment, we have this one sorted and this one sorted. I teach whenever I am actually online, I'm teaching to have one color, black, gray, and white. And this is what I stand by 100%. One color is what you want to have as your main brand color, and then everything else could be secondary or tertiary. It doesn't matter. But I want to have a color. And when you're working with the templates, I actually like this yellow color. What do you think about this, John?
I love it because you see, it kind of just brings the attention to
Yeah.
the image.
Yeah.
Yellows, greens, and vibrant colors will always bring attention. And what actually just makes it for me in this case is just the balance that the actual giraffe, the solid lines, and the solid line in the font. And I know I'm
Yeah.
getting technical because I'm going to tell you a little secret. When I was in college, I took a class called The Color Theory. And I'm going to just share a little secret. If somebody can find this book right here, graphically speaking, I'm going to leave it here in the recording. Get this book because this book will get you out of the jams of colors. And I'm going to tell you really quickly why. Depending on what you select, depending on your niche, it will show you the color palettes that you want to use. So it will give you the color tones that goes together depending on your market or depending on what you need to do. So take a look at this. Graphically speaking, this book has saved my life for the past 12 years. So highly
Or
recommend it.
or you can go to Canva and pick a template.
Or you can do that too if you want to
Yeah.
get too technical. But yeah, but
Cool.
I had to because I happen to know the author of that book as well because I so much love that book. I was actually in New York, and the guy was signing it for a conference that we did for Adobe many years ago. So I just wanted to kind of just give you that as a ninja tip. Graphically speaking, very good book.
Awesome. So let's just go on and then see what the actual branding means over here. So we now have a logo, we now have colors, but what is the actual branding? So on the branding side, I mean, what fonts we will use, what kind of look we will have for the whole website. And in this one, it ties in really close to the step number 5, choosing the template and the look and feel. The look and feel is the actual branding. So let's just go in to the GrooveKart store. Let's just see what kind of templates we can work with, and let's just go from there. So if we go back and log into our GrooveKart backend, this is over here. I'll make it a bit bigger for you guys. So what I want to do is come over here in the last option in the left-hand sidebar, which is called the builder. The builder is the actual place where we can create the visual side of our store. This is what the customers will see. When you open the builder on a new store, you can see that there is a little wizard. It's like a step-by-step in order to help you navigate through the whole builder. This only happens in the builder though. So it explains what everything is. Click here for pre-designed blocks. You can drag and drop into your page and so on and so on. So in case you're new, you created your store from scratch, you can go through this one. You can read through and actually it explains everything you need to know. It explains what it is, what everything is on the page, so you don't feel confused at a later point. But in case we want to change this template is really nice. However, I would prefer if we could go with something more simple. I would come over here to pages, over here to this option pages as well, because at this moment we are in navigation. We want to go to pages and we want to choose a home page and click these 3 dots. When you click these 3 dots, you will see that there is an option use template. Once you click on it, you'll be able to actually see what templates are available for everybody to use. And this will be available also on your side. I believe at this moment, every template works with multiple products, except this one over here. It's called one product. I actually want to have one product on my store, so I'll just click on this one, and then once you click on here, there will be a big pink check mark that shows up, a white check mark in a pink box to be more specific. But you need to make sure that if you choose this one, it will override everything that you have on the page. So in case you did some changes already, that you did something, this will actually override everything. Because I just have a blank store that was created by default, I am happy to actually override everything. So I'll click on that check mark, And as you can see, now the new template has been imported. And let me just zoom out a little bit so we can see it a bit better. On-ear headphones, shop on-ear, we have an image, we have the actual little explanation over here, a bit of an image here, engineer to make sound travel, da 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 da. So this is a template that we can easily go in and then switch the images, switch the text, switch the button color for our own, and just make the store look especially how we want it. This one also helps with the branding. As you can see, this is a very, very simple font, for example, that we could use also for our branding. Let's just see what fonts are available. If I click over here, here on the right-hand sidebars, we will have different text styles. So we can look into what text styles we have available. At this moment, we don't have a lot of text styles available, but I feel that this Open Sans would work quite good. Let's just try this one. Now I'm trying to match the feel of our logo. As you can see here, we have very straight lines with a little bit of curvature on the R, and basically that's it. So very straight lines. So at this moment, I'm looking for a font that would work well with that kind of a feel. So let's just try this one. It's not quite there.
Too straight now. I think that might probably work.
Yeah, I believe the basic one from the template, the Open Sans, works the best one. So I actually have the feel and the branding of the page. We need to change the colors. We need to change the fonts. We'll put up a nice little logo here in a moment, and then we'll have everything ready in order to start a store. What I do want to change immediately in this session, in the next module, in the module number 2, we will be going in and then actually changing the store design, layout, and how it looks. We'll be putting in the images, we'll be changing the text, so that is coming on the next module next week on Wednesday. But in this module, I want to just modify the layout of the header because this ties in with the whole branding step. So let me just quickly save when we chose that template. And then if we come over here to the top, we can click to edit the layout. We have a couple of different options over here. If we choose the default, this is the default layout over here with a search bar. I do not necessarily want this one because it features a big search bar and we will have one product, so there's not much to search for. Let's just click over here, see Groovebook, or let's just go by order. Groove Zone. This follows the Amazon layout. Groovebook, it's more like a Facebook type of thing. Awesome. This is very similar, but still not quite there. Luxury, this could work, but I'm not very happy with this one either. So let's just go back to dropship. This looks the cleanest, the simplest, as you can see, between all the options that we have. I know our GrooveKart designers work on actually having more header options, so we'll be having super modern header options. But at this moment, I'm actually happy. I've seen all the other options and I don't like them. I like this one the most, so I will leave this as it is, and then we can go in and change the actual logo. Do you have anything to add on here, John?
I mean, at this juncture, I think you have covered it all. The only thing that I will probably add is just one little comment. When you decide to go with a theme, remember, and this will be maybe in an advanced class, maybe somewhere that you can use, you can add certain style differentiations on the actual items that you're seeing. You can actually use the CSLs, but as I mentioned, it will be in a separate class. But you have the ability to maybe change the background color on the actual header. Maybe just do a little bit the small modifications that on size of the letters for the moment, because as you said, there's more changes coming and there's going to be more interactivity when it comes to the headers. But we're working still on that, but we'll definitely I'll show you guys a couple of tricks how to do that maybe down the road, maybe if we have time next week in module 2. But I think, David, I think we should move forward with the QA if everything is covered right now.
Absolutely. Let me just go back and then show people how to put the logo on and how the logo needs to look like. So now that we have chosen a template and the look and feel, and by the look and feel, I mean this one. So how it will how it will look like the big and bold headlines with the font. I want straight fonts, and this is by default already on this template, so I'm happy with that one. We'll be going in and changing it more, but at this moment I just want to go and change the actual logo. The logo is not changed in the builder right now. We will need to go back to the GrooveKart admin panel, and to do this we will need to click on this 3 lines over here and choose this GrooveKart admin panel. This brings us back to the dashboard, and if we click over here to settings, store information, this is where the logo will show up. At this moment, as you can see here, the logo is sideways, and on the template that we chose, it would look a little bit better sideways. We don't have a logo that we saved that has the logo here and then the actual text here, or the icon here and the text here. So we'll just work with what we have right now. We'll see how it looks like, and if we don't like it, we can just change it back. So let's just choose I believe we should go with this type of a black and white, because our header is white, has a white background. So I will click download over here. I will download a JPEG. It's a smaller file size. I'll just choose this page 2 because this is my black and white giraffe over here, and I can click the download button. This downloads it over here to my computer, and if I go back to GrooveKart, this is where I can upload the logo. I want to upload the logo that I just downloaded, and here we go. We can just use full image. And once that is done, the logo will show up here. As you can see, it is very, very small, and previously it gave us the option to actually modify the logo. So let's just click upload the logo again, and let's just crop it in so that we have a smaller version of the logo, so that it shows a bigger part of it. Something like this.
Perfect.
And then we choose the crop selected because we don't need all those blank space on the sides and the top and the bottom. We just want that one. As you can see, immediately the logo is a bit bigger. It shows up nicer. So if we click the save button, don't forget to click the save button over here. That will actually save it and make sure that it shows up in the front of the site. So let's just click over here to gyrotop.groovekart.com. We'll be able to have a look how it looks on the front end. Okay, so this is our logo. But let's just choose gyrotop.com. And here is our logo. It is quite big, so maybe we actually need to decrease it. This is how it would look on the front end. So this is what you would need to manage. As you can see, if it shows up a little bit smaller or bigger on here, make sure you come back and check it how it looks like on the front end. So there will need to be a bit of juggling. So let's just see how it works with just a normal logo uploaded. Use full image. I want to show you step by step how to actually manage so that there is no, oh, my logo is too small, oh, my logo is too big. Okay, cool. Now it was saved. This is gyrotop.com. Let's just reload, and here it loads in much better. However, it is quite tall, and I would rather prefer it to have in this line where we have everything in here. So I will just do another instance of this logo. I will just position it next to each other, maybe make this one a bit smaller and resave it so that we have a sideways option as well. It is super simple to do, so you don't have to do a lot. Maybe this one a little bit bigger, gyrotop like that. I believe that this could work. This could work quite good. So we can also save it again. Save it as JPEG. We want to page 3. It says the page number over here. So let's just click the download button. Now let's just compare it how it looks like with the previous one that we uploaded. Gyrotop. And now that it's uploading, let's click the save button. Cool. And let's just reload gyrotop.com.
Everybody's waiting for how to see
better, as you can see. I really like it as it is right now, because previously it was super tall, it was super strange. I wanted this, but at this moment it looks really professional. It looks like it was always there. It looks like it is, yeah, it is a part of the actual template already. So this is how you can manage and then tweak. Have a look at what heading you're using. Have a look how your logo looks like. Is it taller or wider? And then you can manage that very simply. As you can see, we just did this in 5 minutes, and now our store looks super professional.
And again, the three things that you got to consider for branding is your logo, your colors, and your domain name, because all three combined with a nice experience, and you will see that in module 2, the process of purchasing the product, a good communication with your customers, that will all encompass the trust factor that you guys will definitely just going to have with a store just building GrooveKart just the way that we just did it. So great job with the logo, David. I mean, I love it. I mean, I love the whole situation. I love how everything is coming along. And let's just go to QA. I think right now it's 7:45. If you get, let's just go with the questions. I think I found a couple of them already, but let me just probably, you want to highlight the questions and we'll answer them. I'll highlight, we answer.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. I think the very first question that I got, let me see, right here. One funnel Groove asked, shall we change the store name already created in GrooveKart with a new Groove subdomain, or shall we recreate my design into a new store? Both are possibilities, and I'm going to take the lead answering this question, because you can request a subdomain change by writing to us at the support desk at support@groovedigital.com, because you have the right to do that. You can change the subdomains. If you want to create a different store, that's completely your decision, but we can change that. We can help you to change those subdomain names with no problem. The only thing that we cannot change is domain names. Only the domain owner, only the store owner can change the settings in the domain section. We, as a support team, we cannot change top-level domains, meaning your .com, your .net, your .org. We cannot touch that, but we can change the subdomains. But yes, one GrooveFunnel, you have the option to change that subdomain anytime by requesting it.
You know what my opinion is about this? Don't worry about the subdomains. This is not something you'll be promoting. The subdomains is just a waste of time. Like at this moment, in case this is the biggest worry that you have, just don't worry about it. Like leave it as it is. I created stores for my own where I said 123. And then I never use that one 123 at something.com, because you will probably have a custom domain. In case you are serious about that store, you will not publish it on a subdomain, whatever it is called. It doesn't matter what it's called. If it's called like I love oranges, it doesn't really matter. You will probably purchase a custom domain for it, and you will not even think about what subdomain is. Subdomain is just for the backend systems of Groove, in order to put a database. Okay, this owner has this store, and that's it. You will never probably publish your store, share your store on a subdomain. So don't worry about this. This should be the least of your worries. Control the branding, the products, the traffic to your store, and that's basically the more important things. Don't worry about the subdomains.
Yeah. And the second question that I see, Race Mode says, does GrooveKart has inventory? Yes, it's coming. And I know that our devs have been working really hard to the inventory control. So that's a feature that a lot of people requested for a long time, and it's going to be a reality really soon. And I don't think you want to add anything else, David. Maybe
I actually want to add on something, because it has inventory already. The product you have in your GrooveKart store that you imported from Dropify, from Ali Connect, from Slingly, from wherever, you can actually export them. In case you're talking about GrooveKart inventory, we already have that. In case you're talking about managing the inventory, we don't have that. Like in case you want to export your products from the GrooveKart right now, you can export it in a CSV file and then bring it over somewhere, or send it to your supplier or wherever you would like. But in case you are planning to import your products and then manage to say like, okay, I have 5 products of this one. I have 3 of this one. That is still this is still coming. Yeah.
All right, and I get this a lot, and David, I know you're gonna input a lot on this one. Have you connected your Cloudflare before you added the domain to your site? And again, we get this a lot because when you're connecting GrooveKart, you don't have to touch Cloudflare at all. So let's just have that in mind, guys. When you're connecting your GrooveKart, important GrooveKart, when you're connecting any of your stores, the process is as David just showed it. Just go into your domain name register, get the domain, come back to your GrooveKart, get the DNS records, add it to that domain, and you're set. You don't have to go into Cloudflare and add all the stuff that maybe Groove Pages requires right now. It's as simple as it gets when it comes to connecting your store, but do not confuse the 2 processes. One is for GrooveKart, one is for Groove Pages. And I know, David, you're gonna add something else.
I want to just add on here that Cloudflare is built into GrooveKart. We will have a system to manage all the domains within GrooveFunnels that is coming soon. You'll be able to put on GrooveSell, GrooveMember, Groove Pages, domains, and everything, and manage it in one place. At this moment, Groove Pages and GrooveKart have a separate system of managing the domains, but Cloudflare. So we actually connected our domain to Cloudflare because it is built into GrooveKart at this point.
Awesome. And let's see if we have any other questions. Jim Evans asked, I changed my logo quite a few days ago, and my logo showed up on the main panel of all my stores. Login. Well, actually, as you can see, there was, if you have only one store, that's the logo that you will see. But I don't believe that might be a glitch. I don't know. We'll have to investigate it, Jim, so you can send me an email and take a look at that. Any other questions that you see, David, that we should actually just oh, here's the last question that we got right now here. Are you going to add blog in GrooveKart store for SEO?
No.
Simple. No. We have an ability to do SEO within GrooveKart because GrooveKart has a lot of areas that you can actually expand your SEO, especially on the description, your categories, and in your homepage as well. So I don't believe the adding a blogging functionality will work.
I can expand on this one. We will never add on blogging functionality to this one because this is not the goal of an e-commerce platform. Shopify has it because Shopify is one platform and that's what it does. It needs to provide a feature for blogging because it cannot do anything else. It could actually charge you and let you install an app. But what we will have is bigger than any other platform out there. We will have a separate system for blogging, which will be called GrooveBlog. It will not be part of GrooveKart. It will not be part of Groove Pages. It will be a separate platform that will work hand in hand. So at a certain point in time, GrooveFunnels, when you create an account with GrooveFunnels, you'll be able to have blog. You'll be able to have your website, you'll be able to have your store, you'll be able to have your membership and sell other like digital products using GrooveSell and everything under one domain. It will be all under one roof, which will be called GrooveFunnels, but it will not have like GrooveKart will not have its blogging platform. Groove Pages will not have its blogging platform because it will all be tied in together. Each platform will be working for its own, but in unison with every other platform out there. So short answer, no, GrooveKart will not have a blogging platform.
All right. Let's just go with this one. Pammy McQuair. I'm sorry if I'm just mispronouncing your last name, Pammy. I made the mistake of adding my first store domain to Cloudflare first, and now it won't work for my shop. How do I fix it? It's very simple. All that you got to do is go to your Cloudflare account and remove that domain from Cloudflare. And if you have any internal issues, you can also write us to support@groovedigital.com or text at the GrooveKart team. Will actually be able to remove the zone. It's actually called a zone that is assigned to you, so it can actually just flow normally through Cloudflare. But Pammy, you can actually send us an email or go to support.groovedigital.com, and you can actually just fill out the form there, and it will actually just get to us. Let me just put that address there. It will be support www.groovedigital.com. You can go there, visit that website that I just pasted in the comments, and you can just send us a ticket from there, and we will be able to help you with that issue.
Okay, so we have 6 more minutes in order to answer questions. I will just put up a timer over there, 6-minute timer, and then we'll go on to a speed run answering questions. So let me just answer the questions from Abdel Hamid. When you collect the store without Cloudflare, what about private email? You can still have private email. Let me just show you quickly over here. If we go into settings and domain over here, I will zoom in so we can see.
Great, David. And before you start, I think Christian Tumelius had the same question because a lot of people are asking. So once I change my domain to that Cloudflare, to that GrooveKart, what happened to my email? So that came great. So we'll still have we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Let me show you guys. Everybody that wants to have their private email, that's not a problem. If you go into settings, domain, you can still manage your DNS records. So as you can see here, MX records are now handled by GrooveKart. You still have these register servers over here. So these are the MX records from Namecheap, and this one over here, the MX record GrooveKartmail.com is handled by the actual GrooveKart system. That means that when you actually go and then send emails, that means like transactional emails or support emails, these will be handled by GrooveKart. So if you delete this this DNS record from here, GrooveKart will not be able to actually send out emails. So don't delete this MX record. Every other MX record here you can actually manage, and you can add on your own MX records, but do not touch this MX record because this is needed in order to handle your mail, the sending from GrooveKart. Okay, so you still can have your private email in case you want to create like a G Suite email or something. You can add on your MX records, TXT records, and that's it. Here in the upper right hand side corner, you can see add DNS records, and it's just as on Cloudflare. Everything can be done the same. It opens up here. You choose the record you want to add, and bam, that's it.
Awesome, simple. And so you guys, now that you can manipulate your DNS records and your MX records, so you can actually just get and keep getting your emails. So that's one of the biggest issues that we resolved for the past year. So that'd be.
Wayne is asking, will there ever be an ability to have multiple login IDs for developers like VAs? Yes, that is coming. It will be for the GrooveFunnels suite of tools. Basically, you'll be able to set up user roles and permissions, and then allow people to have access to certain parts of your account and certain parts not. That is coming. That I cannot give you an ETA, but we will have it. I have made a store and I have set it all up, but it has a sign in, and I don't know how to remove it. Log out from your GrooveFunnels account and then log back in. Go into the GrooveKart app on the left hand sidebar, and then go into the back office from there. That's basically the solution to that one.
And that was also, she repeated the question. So
yeah, there is multiple times the same question.
Let's just review that, or maybe is she asking about that, or is he asking? I don't know. Unfortunately, it says the other side of the card, so I don't know if he's a lady or a gentleman. But is it because of the menu that you see at top of the signing, or is it something that you're seeing once you go in there? So let us know in support, so we can actually just help you out.
Questions, John. We have 2 more minutes. Lovely Garcia is asking, do we need to contact the supplier before shipping the product in cart, or automatic they know GrooveKart? So when you actually do drop shipping, when you actually import a product, it will connect GrooveKart to that to the AliExpress store. However, the process that you will need to do is to semi-automatically order the product, and not ship it to yourself, but ship it to the customer's address. So there's not much you need to do. You don't necessarily have to contact the supplier. You can actually contact the supplier in case you want to maybe try and get lower rates, because you can have contact with the supplier, like, look, I'm going to be selling your product, so I would appreciate in case you give me a discount or something like that. But it's not necessary when you're starting out, because they will not do it probably because you're at the starting stages. A couple more minutes left.
It's 8 o'clock on time, but we have 2 more minutes left in our clock for the live, so I think we can answer 1 or 2 more questions, Dave.
Yeah.
So let's just
Here.
go.
Hello, Stuart from the UK. Maybe not for tonight. When someone goes to the cart and lands on the information page, it keeps telling people error to place the state. Thanks. Please reach out to the support. This would need to be looked into more deeply. We cannot settle this now on the live stream. Let's just see if there are any more questions on here. A little bit of speed run. I cannot do anything without webhooks. I requested almost 1 year ago. Any news about that? Carlos, at this moment, GrooveKart doesn't have webhooks. All the other platforms will be getting integrations within each other, and then for outside. But just please remember that this is a beta platform, is being heavily developed. So at this moment, not all the functions are available. MailChimp gets sent to junk mail. Let's protect Groove mails from getting sent to junk mail. Any ideas to give on here? This is not connected to GrooveKart, so we'll not be able to answer that one. Let's just see. But it's not the case when you move a domain to Cloudflare if you have a mail account set up with your domain, correct? When you're actually managing your private mails, and we are done. With Cloudflare, you manage the MX records and the TXT records. That's the only two records you need to manage. You can do those from GrooveKart as well. So that's basically the same process. I have multiple email accounts connected to GrooveKart, and it's working without any issues. So you can do that. Cool.
All right, I think we covered all, David. It was a pleasure starting this accelerator with you. I know it's a great idea that we're going to be moving forward with the next 2 modules, module 2 and 3. So, guys, if you missed it, please invite people to the recordings. If you know somebody that might be interested to actually just go into the whole e-commerce situation, just tell them now about GrooveKart. Let them know about the trainings that we do. And also, don't forget to come next week and the week after. Because since you guys started, since you committed already an hour, actually 2 hours with us, let's just finish the process. Let's just take a look at those sites when you guys are done. All right? So, David, anything else to add?
Absolutely. I want to mention that next week, so this week we set up the branding, the logo, the product. We chose a product or for ourselves. I would ask you to actually go in there and try to follow along. So go in there, try to find a product, try to decide on the niche, try to decide on your branding, the logo, the colors, try to find a template and set that up, have it ready for the next week. You have 7 days in order to fill this up, and then get ready when we are starting to design our store. We'll go into the nuances and the details on how to actually work with the builder, and also some other pages like product pages, checkout pages, things like that you need to actually have set up in order to be able to start selling. If you follow along with us, by the end of the 3rd day, we'll have a product, we'll have a store, we'll have the payment gateway connected, and we'll show you also some traffic methods as a bonus. We'll give you some tips and tricks how to actually make your store sexy and your offer sexy, so that it is actually not only selling a product, but it's selling an offer, so that you stand out. People will not go to Amazon, they will come to you. This is a big question everybody asks. Why I can get this product on Amazon, why should I come to your store? We'll have all these questions answered, so make sure you come on to the next trainings.
Right.
Next Wednesday and the Wednesday after that one. We'll be wrapping up 1 day or 2 days before Christmas, and then by the Christmas you should be starting to have a proper store up and running, getting traffic online. So that was it for this training. I will create a very short link right now for you with the presentation I have. Before I forget, I want to share it out for everybody that joined this live. So change to anyone with the link, copy it, and then you'll be able to access it on Groove Accelerator 1. Okay, so we'll make it Kotlin. We'll make sure that it is up and running online, and you get, so it will be Kotlin/Groove Accelerator 1.
Awesome. Okay. All right, everybody. As David is wrapping up the Kotlin link for all of you guys to enjoy the presentation, don't forget, follow us, watch the recording if watch the recording in its entirety, and come back next week so we can actually just complete the process with you. And David, as always, it's been a pleasure, man. A little bit of a change. I know a lot of us, you were used to seeing us on Thursdays, but now it's in Wednesdays from 6 o'clock on. Now we usually do at 7:30, but today it was the first day with the accelerator. And most likely for the next 2 sessions, we're going to have around an hour and a half to 2 hours. So be ready for that. All right.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, John, thank you very much for being here tonight. I wish you a pleasant rest of the day, and hopefully we'll see you on the next GrooveKart Accelerator, where you'll be ready and you'll have your store up and running, waiting for the design. So thank you one more time. See you on the next run.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.